Hey, it's Clay. Got another project going, and I wanted to show it off. So let's see if this will help. So basically, this is a Telemaster, or I don't exactly know what the official name for it is, but it's a Jazzmaster body with Telecaster routings. And I picked up this body really cheap several months back with the hopes of getting it into a project. And my blue Telecaster with the Wormouth neck, the Goncalo Alves neck, I wasn't in love with the body, and I don't know what was going on with that guitar, so I decided to take the neck off and the parts off, and I'm going to put that onto this body. But what I wanted to talk about was this finish. So when I bought this, it was just a blank piece of wood, and this is the first time that I tried finishing with color. This was the last project I did about a year ago. I have a video on it. You can check it out on my channel. I will try to put a link in the description if you want to go check that out. But this body also, I got totally blank wood, and I finished it with True Oil. It's this guy right here. Birchwood Casey True Oil. It's a gunstock finish. I got the 32 ouncer, and I've still got maybe half left after these two projects. But so this, basically all I did here was sand it down really nice and then just start in with the True Oil. But I didn't really want to do that because I already have, you know, this guy and this guy are both kind of bare wood finish. So 3 of my guitars are already like that. So I want to do something with color. And my wife picked out red, so what we did is we went to the store and we picked out this. I believe we went to like a Michael's or maybe a hobby shop, but it's just this Winton and Newton oil color. We picked out this red, but the main kicker here is that, I don't know if you'll actually be able to read this, but right here, come on, focus, it says linseed oil. The carrier is linseed oil. Linseed oil is pretty much the same ingredient that is in this. I don't know if it actually has what is actually in this. It's probably, you know, patent, whatever. So they probably wouldn't list exactly what's on there. But basically, linseed oil is a part of True Oil. So you're kind of using the same process. So what I did was I used an old t-shirt. And unfortunately, I had tried to video myself actually doing the process, but couldn't really get it to work. I accidentally deleted it, but I would just cut out like a square piece, like maybe like this big, and I would just put a little bit of the paint on my cloth and then wipe it on. And I think I did maybe 2 or 3 coats, and in between each coat I would try to sand down any rough areas or anything like that, and then I just started doing the same True Oil process that I did with that guitar. And so I don't even remember how many coats in I am. Basically what I do is I try to put a coat on once every 3 or 4 hours that I can. So like if I get up in the morning, it might take me 10 minutes, but I'll try to put a coat on before I go to work or wherever. Then when I get back, then I try to do another coat right away. Then I'll try to do a coat after supper. Then I'll try to do a coat before bed. You know, if it's a Saturday and we're not doing anything, or a Sunday, you know, where we're not really gone that much, I might try to do a coat every 2 or 3 hours that I can. And the basic process there, again, is that you just use those pieces of cloth from the t-shirt, and you put the True Oil on. I've got the process outlined in another video. Again, I'll try to link that in the description. But you just wipe it on, try to get the whole thing, and then you know, as needed, you could do it every coat. You could do it every few coats. Sand back a little bit. Try to find the rough spots. Try to find the imperfections, and try to sand it back a little bit, and then do another coat. And you basically just keep repeating that process as long as you want. And if you'll notice, you can already see that it's pretty glossy. You know, you can see the reflection pretty well in the light. You can see the room. You can see me in the camera. So it's pretty glossy. And the more you do it, the more coats you apply, the more that you know, kind of sand out the imperfections with a very fine grit sandpaper. You can go progressively more fine if you want. I think I'm even down to about steel wool. And yeah, you get to this point where it's this very nice looking, very nice looking color underneath this true oil finish. And the huge advantages of this is that it doesn't require hardly any investment. I think that 32-ounce bottle of true oil, which I've done 2 projects on now, and I'm not even more than halfway done with it, cost me like probably, I don't even know, like, but it was less than $20 or $30. So very inexpensive. And then the paint was like $7. So, you know, we're talking very minimal investment compared to like an old nitro finish, which you're going to need to buy the spray and it's just a lot more investment. And then also, the thing that I really, really value about this true oil finish is how easy it is to apply. You don't need to get a mask. You don't need to have a spray area. You know, I did most of this in my house. And I've even spilled some true oil on this table, but it actually doesn't like harm the table. And basically what I'm probably going to do, I mean, this is kind of an old table. I'll just, you know, maybe put some true oil on top of that. I mean, we're talking about a wood finish. If it works for this, it works for that. And so basically, it's really easy to do if you don't have a lot of space, if you don't want to invest a ton. It's really harmless. You know, you can get it on your fingers. I mean, basically it feels sticky for a little bit, but then it's like, it kind of rubs in just like it would if you put like a lotion on or something. It just kind of, you know, sinks into your skin and you're fine. So overall, I'm really, really pleased with how this works out. And I really enjoy it. I really enjoy finishing the guitars this way. And especially, I think this color turned out really nicely. And so I'm really happy with it. Kind of debating right now if I'm ready to be done or if I want to do another coat or 10 or I don't know. I mean, like the number of coats you put on is really up to you. I would say this is kind of maybe a minimum level as to where it would be acceptable. There's still some maybe rough spots around the edges where I haven't been as cautious, and especially on the edges is where you tend to get a little bit of runoff. But especially like the flat parts of the body in here looks and feels amazing. The camera, I don't know how well it will actually pick it up, but it's a really nice looking finish that I'm very, very happy with. So anyways, if you are curious about doing a color underneath a true oil finish, I tried it. I went to Michael's and I got that paint and I put it on and I put the true oil finish on top, and I've had a really good experience with it so far. We'll see how time tells, but just with the initial process, it worked really, really nicely. I've done, like I said, 2 guitars now with true oil, and I've had a really good experience. So yeah, I really enjoy it. You know, and actually, I also kind of want to show this. So when I talk about time telling, so I've got this P90 Telecaster that's been around for a while, maybe a year, and I don't know exactly if it's got some marks on it, like a little bit of buckle rash. I think you can kind of see it there in the reflection, kind of in this area right here. But it's definitely not like a perfect, you know, like this is a bass that I bought. It's like a Yamaha bass for like $150. And you can see how this is like 100% smooth, reflective, very natural looking finish, or I'm sorry, very like perfect looking finish. This isn't really like that. You know, that's like the poly whatever. But if you want something that has a little bit of, I don't know, it's just got a little bit more reality to it. I don't know if that actually makes sense, but it's just, I really dig it. I really, really dig it. It's cool, and it's really one of those things too where, depending on your attention to detail, like if you really, really are patient and take your time with it and sand very consistently and carefully between each coat, and you make it a point to find all the little imperfections, sand it out, put on another layer, you can get a very, very high quality finish. But I kind of like a little bit more of the imperfect, you know, it's not a nitro, or I'm sorry, it's not like a relic job. I've got a relic Strat over here, you know, and with this guy, you know, it was at one point a really perfect nitro finish, but then it got reliced back. This isn't really like that because it's obviously not really heavily reliced, but it does have a little bit of that same sort of kind of well-worn, very comfortable style to it, which I really like. So I'm a big fan, and I wanted to kind of post this and get it out there and just kind of let you guys see what I see. I don't exactly know how well the camera's picking this up. This piece of wood is alder, and it's not terribly grainy, but you can see like this nice light grain coming through on this red color. You know, from here it looks perfectly red, but it's not actually like that, and it's a little bit darker maybe, and I guess kind of from here you can kind of see the wood through, which I really, really like. So anyways, if you guys are curious, I've had a really good experience and I would recommend it. I'm excited to get this guitar up and running. I probably should do another touch of sanding and another coat, but I'm starting to get a little impatient because I want to get this guitar going. So anyways, let me know your thoughts down below. Questions, I'll answer them to the best of my abilities, but really, it's pretty simple and straightforward. I am not a finishing expert. I've done a lot of putting guitars together, but the finishing has always been my weakest point. But with this True Oil, it's so simple and it's so easy. It just basically requires patience more than anything. Patience and attention to detail is what's really going to give you quality results. And so, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts below, and I'll see you soon. Bye.